Hello, I'm Jasmine Sahu and welcome to What's On, your new daily guide to events happening in and around Sheffield. We'll be interviewing the people who are making things happen, reviewing shows and events, and generally exploring what makes Sheffield tick. That's all to look forward to over the coming weeks and months, so make sure you join us every day at 6:04 p.m. on Sheffield Live TV. In tonight's programme, we'll be speaking with Sara Hill from Opus Independence, the company behind Now Then magazine, and the upcoming Festival of Debate. She'll be talking to us about what's happening in the festival and why debate is good for our city. Also tonight, we'll be taking a look at the rehearsals for Daniel, a new play from emerging company Footprint Theatre. That's starting this week at Theatre Delicatessen. But first tonight, let's take a look at who's taking to the stage in our live music section. Described as the best Celtic guitarist in the world, Tony McManus will be at the Greystones tonight performing his past songs as well as material from his latest album, Mysterious Boundaries. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Space rock legends Hawkwind will kick off their 2015 tour tomorrow night at Sheffield City Hall, supported by Dutch band Focus. This should be a spectacular show featuring dancers, stilt walkers, psychedelic lighting and projections. And finally, South Sea Live in Broomhill is holding a Yuck Indie Night at 7 p.m. this evening. Focusing on unsigned talent, tonight features bands such as Cadavers, the Harrington Blues and a local Sheffield act, Tandems. Entry is free, but if you can't make it tonight, then keep an eye out for this coming back in the future. That's what's coming up in the next 24 hours on the music scene. Now let's take a look at art and culture. Sheffield is bursting with galleries, theatres and cinemas, so there's certainly no shortage of events. The Picturing Sheffield exhibition is on show at the Millennium Gallery until Sunday, the 12th of April. The exhibition takes people on a journey through Sheffield's past and present, examining the connection between views of the city and the identity of the people. Picturing Sheffield features work from the 1700s to the present day, including artists like Turner and Joe Scarborough. Top Hat is finishing its run at the Lyceum Theatre this week. The widely acclaimed musical tells the story of Broadway star Jerry Travers, who tap dances his way into the affections of society darling Dale Tremont. With a great 1930s score and amazing dance sequences, Top Hat is certainly a night to remember. Tonight, Cineworld in Centertainment is hosting a special screening of the 1980s classic Flash Gordon. Local film group We Watch Films will be holding a film quiz at 7:30 p.m. and the programme itself beginning at 8:30. If you're a Queen fan, this is definitely worth a watch. Theatre Delicatessen is based in the former Woolworths store on the Moor. It's becoming well known for hosting alternative performances. This makes it the perfect venue for Footprint Theatre, a new company in Sheffield. Their play Daniel follows four characters in their struggle to come to terms with a heinous crime committed by one of their closest friends. I went along to the rehearsals for the production last week to see what they had in store.
I'm Jasmine and I'm the company producer and one of the founders.
I'm Matilda and one of the founders and also been writing the show Daniel.
I'm Ellen Schofield and I'm one of the company founders and the director of Daniel.
It's one of those things that when coming to university I knew that it was one of the things that I aspired to do in my time here was to start a theatre company, and all three of us seemed to have the same aspirations, so we just sort of thought, why don't we just do it, kind of thing.
But the idea of Footprint, and I think the name as well comes into that, is that kind of it's coming out of something true, so a true story or a real person or something that's actually happened, and then taking that and turning it into something creative.
So can you tell me a bit about the production?
It's based on a true story which happened, which basically one of the group knew a guy that's been arrested for having indecent images of children on his computer, and it's not so much about him but more about sort of their friends and how that's affected them, and so it follows 4 stories of people who have been affected by the crime that their friend committed.
Yeah, have you seen him?
No, I've really tried to actually. I've left him about
Really
4 answer
tried to?
messages. Yeah, problem?
No, I'm just surprised.
Why?
I don't know. Well,
He was my friend.
would it not be a bit strange?
Well, yeah, it would be a bit strange, but I don't think anyone else is really making an effort to speak to him. I mean, even his close family have sort of, I don't know, it's weird, but I sort of feel for the guy.
I'm Isaac. I play the character of Alex, and he's basically Daniel's cousin, and so I sort of play the role of looking at how the family has reacted to the situation, basically.
What is it about Daniel that interests you?
I think one of the most appealing things about this story is it's something that, like, the nature of the topic and it being quite a sensitive subject is it's something that people don't really talk about, and people don't really want to, like, make sort of entertainment and theatre about a subject that's as serious as this. So we really wanted to experiment with how we could portray it in a way that would make people want to discuss something like this and make people want to see it, really.
It's been definitely a group effort, and so everyone's kind of chipped in and given their own ideas.
So obviously they have written and directed it themselves, but they've actually let the cast devise quite a lot of the stuff ourselves, and so it's been really fun just kind of making it more than usual ourselves, yeah. Of the stuff I've done in the past, really, it's been famous plays I've done, so the names of Train Spotting and what have you. So the fact it's a new and exciting thing, something innovative and independent, is probably the most interesting thing for me, yeah.
It's based on truth, so there was a lot of scope for the people to come in and create their own characters.
I was definitely interested in kind of humanising the people around the story, not just the crime itself and the perpetrator of the crime, but the people around that and how they actually felt about it, the people who are left behind.
What's it going to look like when people come into the theatre?
The space is really cool. It's at Theatre Delicatessen on the Moor, just down the road, and it's a big derelict Woolworths that's sort of been out of use for a couple of years. It's quite dark, it's quite grimy, it's very cold, so wrap up warm. Quite eerie, I think, which I think will put people on edge, which I think the whole production is kind of aims to do, I think, in a way.
It's quite an amazing building, and it's definitely going to provide a lot of atmosphere.
I think it's something a bit different. It's a bit of a challenging subject matter. It's in a really cool space, and yeah, hopefully it's something that people haven't really seen something like it before.
Well, we hope to take it on tour or do something, or a work in progress development kind of tour.
Yeah, we're looking to create as much theatre as possible in the time that we're at university and whatnot, and hope to be able to take stuff to, I think, as many places as we possibly can and showcase it around the UK, take it to Edinburgh and whatnot, and just get it out there as much as possible, I feel.
That was Footprint Theatre in rehearsals for their debut production Daniel, which is on stage at Theatre Delicatessen on the Moor from the 4th to the 6th of March. Now, Sheffield isn't just about its places and sites, it's about its people. So it's time we took a look at what's going on in the community. First, a heads up for the end of this week for the 25th Daffodil Ball held by the Children's Hospital charity. Taking place at Baldwin's Omega, the proceeds from the evening will go to the Make It Better appeal. Auction prizes include tickets to the Chelsea Flower Show and a giant chocolate Easter egg. Tomorrow night, Bluebell Wood Children's Hospice is holding a fashion show at Brimington Social Club in Chesterfield. The show will be presented by Red Frog Fashions, and all the clothes modelled will be on sale. Tickets cost £3. And Highcliffe Community Allotments Association are holding an illustrated talk by Daryl Marion about the Wortley Hall walled garden. The Wortley Hall Garden is an organically farmed kitchen garden which is being restored by the Healy City Farm. The talk starts at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night at the Greystones, and both members and visitors are welcome. From social activity to physical activity, Sheffield is buzzing. It's time to see what's on in sport throughout the city. Sheffield United will be playing Peterborough tomorrow at Bramall Lane, so expect the traffic in town to be slow. Peterborough are below United in the league table and the two teams haven't met for a while, but who knows what could happen. Kick-off is at 7:30 p.m. Sport is taking centre stage at an unusual venue this evening, the Showroom Cinema. If adventure sports is in your line, the Showroom is showing a warm-up to this year's Sheffield Adventure Film Festival. From mountain biking and mountain climbing to hang gliding, and all kinds of thrilling sports will be on show. The programme starts at 8:30 p.m. tonight. The first men's tennis team from the University of Sheffield will be taking on Durham University men's team on Wednesday in the Bucks Tennis Cup. The team lost in their last match against Durham, so we'll have to see if they can do better this time. Now on tonight's programme, we're going to be talking to Sara Hill. Sara is one of the company directors of Opus Independence, who are responsible for publishing Now Then magazine and also for organising the new Festival of Debate. Starting from this Wednesday, the festival will be welcoming a wide range of speakers to the city and examining the issues facing our society in the run-up to the general election in May. So what is it that makes Sheffield such a good place to hold debates like this? And can it possibly influence what happens in May? Sara, welcome to the programme.
Hi.
Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's quite exciting to have you here for our inaugural show. We'll plunge straight into it. I've got here, and I'll probably show it, this is the programme for the festival. Very imposing. So can you first of all just tell me sort of where did the idea come from to do this festival? Why did you decide to bring it together?
Well, like a lot of good ideas, it just sort of starts as a conversation that you have with your friends. And so James Locke, who's my fellow director, was talking about how we could get, engagement in politics and that kind of thing, and the upcoming election. And it's something that interests us all. It's, one of the reasons that we started Now Then magazine was to have an independent media outlet, because we were so frustrated at kind of corporately controlled media outlets and the difference in information between the two. So it's the kind of issue that's generally quite close to all of our hearts. And really it was about engaging people in this election. The number of people that didn't vote in the last election, had they all voted for like a mysterious sixth party, that sixth party would have won.
Yeah, it is.
It's an incredible number of people that just don't vote and then are really upset by the election results.
So what is it you're trying to achieve exactly? Is it essentially to get rid of this political apathy that seems to be in the country?
That would be wonderful. I wouldn't say that's something that we can take on ourselves, but we feel like a lot of the political discourse is quite negative. A lot of it's very sort of problem focused, and not in a sense of finding solutions to those problems, but in a sense of just kind of complaining about those problems and going on and on about those problems over and over again. And we'd like something that's a little bit more solutions focused. Not that we think we can solve all of these problems, but that social, political and economic issues that we face every day can only be progressed through conversation and debate. So we just wanted to create a space for that conversation and debate to happen, which, may or may not make a difference on May the 7th, but hopefully kind of regardless of whether people vote or not, it will make a difference to them thinking and engaging with their society.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to be the main attendees at this festival?
God, that's a really difficult question. I don't know. I hope we will get a very good spread of people. I think inevitably we'll get quite a lot of students who come along because some of the events are during the day and weekdays, so it can be quite difficult for people who are working to get to them. But also our 3 keynote speakers are actually hosted by Sheffield Students' Union, which is fantastic. They've been a great partner. And we've got quite a lot of student volunteers as well helping us out. So But I think it's important for everybody. I think if you're, a person living in this society, in this city, in this community, then you inevitably have a vested interest in that, because you can't help but be a part of it, unless you're going to go and live in the woods somewhere, which case it's not for you.
Yeah, not many people are going to be doing that. You've got quite an impressive lineup, as you say, at the two universities. Can you tell us how you managed to secure those?
Persistent annoyance of people's agents.
And we've got, just tell people some of the names that we've got. We've got Owen Jones coming, and Sharma Chakrabarti. And also David Blunkett, I noticed, which is quite exciting for everyone, obviously. Sheffield MP, and he's retiring this year. Who are you really excited to see speak, or what events are really interesting to you?
Well, I'm biased, obviously. I think they're all quite interesting. But I think I'm particularly looking forward to Shami Chakrabarti and George Monbiot in April. I'm also really looking forward to the Manifesto for a Feminist Parliament event, which is also in April at Theatre Delicatessen, who are actually hosting quite a number of our events. But I think generally I'm just excited at having lots of people to come and talk about these things. I'm just as excited about talking to people who come in off the street and want to have a chat and a debate about things as I am to, Owen Jones.
Absolutely. And just quickly, if you were going to tell people in one sentence why they should come along to the Festival of Debate, what would you say?
Because you live in this world and therefore you should engage with it.
Very good, fair enough. So that is not Theatre Delicatessen, that is the Festival of Debate. That's going to be taking place from Wednesday this week, starting with a screening of the documentary Chasing Ice, and that continues until the end of April. Now we come to the last part of tonight's programme, our social media roundup. This is the part of the show where we look at what the people of Sheffield are talking about on Facebook, Twitter, and so on. We've just been online and had a look at what people are talking about. Today, a big issue has been the snow, quite naturally. People are quite confused by the fact that there's sunshine and snow going on at exactly the same time. Ruth Travel, and that's at Ruth_travel, says snow, bright sunshine, snow, bright sunshine. Sort your weather out, Sheffield. I need to go and have a shop. And I think a lot of other people are echoing how she feels about that. There's also been plenty of people tweeting about Picturing Sheffield, the exhibition at the Millennium Gallery. Chloe Pate says, if you're a fan of art or are looking for something to do, head on down to @Museum Sheffield for the Picturing Sheffield exhibition. So good. We also looked up the Festival of Debate, Sara. There's not been that much traffic going on Twitter at the moment. There'll probably be a bit more, I should think.
Yeah, we're just about to start our Twitter programme, but people can get information about the events at festivalofdebate.com, and they can book on and hopefully find everything they need.
We have noticed that your Facebook is a little bit more active. It's got about 500 or so likes. People posting comments like this from Amy Carter saying, fantastic programme, you guys. I'm sure it will be a great success. Smiley face.
Oh, thanks, Amy.
So that's it for our social media roundup today. And in fact, this is it for the programme, our very first programme, most exciting. If you have any events that you want to tell us about, please email us on whatsonsheffield@gmail.com, or you can contact us via Facebook and Twitter @Sheffield Live, or use the hashtag whatsonsheffield. Tomorrow we'll be back with more details about what's happening around Sheffield. Coming up next on Sheffield Live, we have our daily news programme, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.